And the most I ever had for a contribution from Hilton was 4.5%, and that was based on my contribution. That's, you know, if I were to contribute.
We're broadcasting back to South St. Paul, so if you could be on this side of the speaker, then they'll be able to hear you. Because there's some people in South St. Paul that are
They're taking it in there.
Want to hear. So those of you in South St. Paul, this is Olson Carriers talking about job opportunities.
We're not videotaped too, are we?
Right. I don't know if that's on the screen or if you're live on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, you are. So actually, you should stand in front of this so they can see.
Right there, Paul. Anyway, we were talking about local truck driving opportunities that we have available, located in the Southeast Metro, Rosemont, Minnesota. And just to recap, Paul was talking about that we pull and dump trailers, we haul dry bulk material. Drivers are home every night. We run locally, but we also do a little bit of regional where they're in Wisconsin and Iowa. But same thing, out and back, same day. Full benefits, generous retirement fund. $55,000 a year is about average what the drivers are making. Then they're 11 hours a day. It comes out to roughly $20 an hour.
So we have again a fleet of about 40 tractors that we have. All of them are 2014 or newer Freightliners, Peterbilts, and Volvos. They're all automatic transmissions, no third pedal. We pull 40-foot end dump trailers, pulling rock, sand, gravel, dirt, any dry bulk material. We do have a full service repair shop on site. All of our vehicles are over and getting serviced every other week. We divide our fleet in half. Half go over and get serviced 1 week, second week the remaining. But they're all checked in and serviced, and there's eyes on the shop from the shop every single night on our vehicles. We also have fuel and DEF on site, so that's not a worry for the drivers because you're home every night. You can do your run on a daily basis to the customer and back on 1 tank of fuel and fuel and DEF in the yard. We also offer a lease to own program as well, but I encourage you all as new drivers into the industry to get some time behind the wheel before you decide to lease your own vehicle, just so you can kind of understand what the operation is about.
I would agree with that. Yep.
You know, we are looking for drivers. We are always recruiting for drivers, but we want safe and smart drivers that value the equipment that we have and can get home safe every single night. You know, my job as a dispatcher for the company is to make sure that I keep money in your pocket. Your job is to make sure you come home with your equipment safe every single night. So it's a balance between, you know, making money and doing it safely. In this industry, everything's about time. We have electronic logging devices in our tractors, and you can only drive 11 hours a day and work 14 hours a day. So we, like I said, travel between 400 and 600 miles a day. So it's all of our benefit to go as far as we can with the material, because that's what's going to earn us the most money. But we need you to come home safe every single night. We do primarily base the salary that we are promoting based on a 55-hour work week. We do have the opportunity for weekend work on Saturdays, especially during the warmer weather when we can load material the night before. The way that I addressed it when I was coming out of driving school is that you know, I was in the same position that you are. You're paying out of pocket for your tuition to come into school. I looked at taking weekend work as a good way to pay back my tuition. So we do not have a quote unquote reimbursement program for your education, but by working hard and putting in a couple extra hours on a Saturday, you can pay yourself back within 6 months to a year for the cost of what you're paying for tuition here. We do, again, offer medical and dental benefits through health partners. We do have supplemental life, short-term disability, accident, and hospital confinement insurance that's available for purchase. And we talked about our 401k program. So we'd like to turn it over to you guys and hear some of the questions that you may have regarding Olson Carriers and what we do, how we do it, and compensation. So if you have any questions, raise your hand and ask away.
Do you have some specific hours requirement?
As far as the hours go for how much you work every day?
No, just look for like specific hours that you have to take to school you.
Oh,
What program are you in? Are you going for your Class A license?
Yeah,
So you're doing is it 80 hours?
hours are different, like 100 hours class, like 120 hours, 160 hours class.
So we require you to have your certificate from Interstate before we would be able to hire you. So you have to obtain your commercial driver's license and have your medical card before we could have you start.
and a clean driving record.
Finishing training?
I'm sorry?
You know, I think he's wondering if you have to do the finishing training that we do here.
Well, so like the 120-hour course?
No, in terms of you guys, before you employ someone, even if I have the certificate, you guys, do you still bother to count the hours that I was with the Interstate?
As far as what goes?
There's this issue of hours.
Some companies require like
Some companies
160 hours
usually
students
need
graduate.
Oh, okay. Your certificate is verification that you completed the program.
Yeah.
So as long as you have that certificate, then yes, we would be able to bring you on as a driver.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
For your health package for health earners, what's the deductible for like a family?
Okay, so that's a great question. Olson Carriers pays 75% of the driver's premium. Okay, for each individual over past the driver, if you have a spouse and a child, you would have to pay the full premium for, say, your wife and your child, or your significant other and your child. Yes, sir.
Yes, when I get my license or my certificate.
Okay.
So you guys are gonna give us training to drive your equipment or just?
Okay.
So you're learning how to drive through the driving school. So you're doing
This, is it working
in-cab
now?
hours with your trainer. Then you go and you take your road test, and if you're
So
able to
I gotta
pass your
start
road
with
test,
this.
that means you can drive forward and you can back up.
Okay.